Oh, sorry. All right, pledge allegiance. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right. Subject C, approval of the agenda. I need a motion to approve the agenda as presented.
Motion.
Ms. Jackie.
Support.
And Iggy. Any discussion? Hearing none. All in favor?
Yes.
Opposed? Motion passes 5-0. All right. Views and comments from citizens.
I have none of those.
Do we have any written communications?
I do, in fact.
Okay. Can you please read them?
Very exciting. Wow. Yes. So I have a couple of thank you notes. Dear Jefferson board members, thank you so much for your generosity and support through this scholarship. I am truly honored to receive this award, and I greatly appreciate your investment in my education and future. As I continue my education, I will work hard to make the most of the opportunities that this support provides. Thank you again for your support and encouragement. Sincerely, Carly Lindsay.
Thank you, Miss Carly. Very nice letter. Very nice letter.
Dear Jefferson Board of Education, I cannot express how grateful I am for your generous contributions to my future college education. Not only will this scholarship help immensely with the student loans, but more importantly, it will give me a constant reminder of my amazing community. Your help with my academic career will never be forgotten. That said, I will be attending Wayne State University this fall. From the bottom of my heart, thank you, Caden Pfeiffer.
Thank you, Mr. Pfeiffer. Very well written. Okay. Special presentations. Subject A, Highland Bus Company.
We are a very intimidating crew. If we can stop giggling.
Well, thanks so much, everyone. Really appreciate the opportunity. Thank you to the whole board for having me here tonight. Dad, thank you for all the work over the past, I don't know, 5 months to get us to this point. And same with you, Jerry. So my name is Scott Harrison. I'm from Highland Electric Units. I'm here to talk to you guys tonight about an opportunity in front of you to deploy 6 UD school buses as part of the grant that Highland's helped you guys apply for. Sort of the quick agenda. I'm hoping to try to move through this fairly quickly because I'd like to leave a lot of time for questions. But if you do have questions while I'm building, feel free to just jump in. Would love to have it just be a conversation as we go. I'm going to start out real quick, and I apologize if some of this is review, but I figure I'll do a quick review of the award that you guys have in front of you, and then who Highland is as a company and sort of the service offering that we provide, and then a little more detail on the specific project in front of you that we've worked on over the past few months to be able to build. So we can click down a slide here. We'll do one more. So first off, congratulations. Jefferson Schools is actually the recipient. They've been awarded, you guys have been awarded approximately $2.6 million as part of the Michigan Clean School Bus Energy Grants. We helped 5 districts apply for this back in, the deadline was December of 2025, and you guys were officially awarded in early February of 2026. So that $2.6 million is for the deployment of 6 EV school buses and the associated infrastructure. So you can think of it as like all of the CapEx cost that goes into standing up a project like this. It's not 100% covered, it's 90%. The proposal here tonight, Highland is actually responsible for that additional 10% CapEx cost share. So the district would not have any out-of-pocket upfront capital expenditure associated with the project. There are sort of different levels of priority status with this grant. Between 70 and 90%, you guys were classified as the highest, basically, priority status group. So you did get awarded 90% of the costs that we submitted. I think one key thing to keep in mind with the grant is the timeline. So you guys have 2 years to stand up a project from the award date. That's a fairly generous timeline. We work with a lot of these Yeah, so we work with a lot of these programs across the country, both state and federal. And 2 years is pretty good. It sounds like a long time, but really it takes about a year to produce these vehicles. Sorry, go ahead.
Has anyone, schools used the 2 years?
Well,
has anyone used the full 2 years to get?
I would say folks have definitely used the 2 years. And this is actually the fourth round of this program. So sort of the last round the state of Michigan is offering. We've applied for probably 3 other rounds. And so districts have definitely used that full time to stand up a project. Generally, the biggest lead time items are like a new transformer from either consumers or DTE, and then the actual manufacturing of the buses. So in this proposal, basically, we're contemplating, ordering a bus in the next, call it, month or two or something like that. And we'd be looking at building a project next summer. The actual infrastructure build out is pretty quick for us generally, but it is the lead time of the bus that is the biggest piece. I'm going to jump down unless there are any questions just on the grant specifically. Okay. So a little background on Highland and who we are. So we were founded in 2019. We're an electrification as a service company, and I'll get into what that means a little bit further on. Currently, we're active in about 30 states, and we have a couple pending contracts in Canada as well. We're really proud of the fact that we've helped our district partners across the country. Right now, I think it's like $530 million that we've helped districts receive to deploy EV school buses. And our goal there, same with the position you guys are in, is to put districts in a position to decide if this is right for you guys. Without these state, federal utility incentives that are available, the projects are just a little too expensive right now for the most part. And so what we're trying to do is show the benefit of the EV school buses, but also pretty strong financial savings on the transportation side as well. And these incentives, I think, do that for you pretty well. The other, background in Highland, we actually operate the largest EV school bus project in the country. That's with Montgomery County Public Schools in Maryland, outside of DC. We electrified 5 of their school bus depots, and they're operating just over 300 of our EV school buses. And then we're also really proud of the fact we were a selected partner for the LA 28 games. We're providing 500 EV school buses for transportation for those games in 2028. So something that we're quite proud of as a company. Jump down. This is just a sort of visual representation of where we are across the company or across the country. We were founded in the Northeast in Boston, and that is where our headquarters are. I work exclusively in the Midwest. I'm Minneapolis based, but I did live in Boston for the last little while. I've recently moved back to Minneapolis, where I'm originally from. But I cover the Midwest exclusively. So some customers maybe you're more interested than others. In Michigan, we have a contract with Dearborn Public Schools, Jackson Public Schools, Redford Union Schools, and then we actually just signed a contract with Holt Public Schools about a week and a half ago. Holt is actually in the exact same grant cohort that you guys are, so they're just a little ahead of you guys in the process. But we'll be putting 10 EV school buses on the road for them, probably late winter, early next year.
How many total buses do we have in Michigan, not counting Holt?
Not counting Holt. So we have 21 that are operational in Jackson. That's just Jackson. Then we have another 18 that are operational with Dearborn. And then we have 6 that are operational with Redford Union. And then we'll be adding 10 more with Holt. And we have basically, I think it's about 55 that are associated with this grant round between 5 different school districts. So maybe all of those will choose to move forward and we'll have 55 more buses on the road. Maybe not all of them will, right? So, yeah. They're sort of in similar positions as you guys deciding, what makes the most sense.
You're referring to a whole school district?
The other school districts that we helped apply for. So that's Royal Oak Schools, Howell Schools, and Royal Oak, Howell, Holt, and Madison Schools, which is a smaller district just north of Detroit. So that's background in Highland. What we do, it's called electrification as a service. Our goal here is to take what is inherently kind of a complex process and simplify it for school districts. So both on the operational front and on the financial risk side of things. So instead of you guys going out and piecemealing all of the different things that go into an EV project, you contract with one company. It's a pretty streamlined process. That's us, right? And you pay us a service payment per bus per year. and we provide basically everything except for the driving of the buses. So you can think of the grants and financing piece. We've already done some of that, right? We apply for grants for districts free of charge, but all the project planning, working with DTE, bringing in a new service, all the project development, that's all on Highland to do. We do a lot of staff and driver training, and then our contract also includes all of the operational sort of softer costs. So we pay for all of the fuel, the electricity. So in that contract price, we're going to look at in a minute, that includes, the full cost of electricity of the bus every year. So we're sort of taking that risk off your plate should electricity prices go up. Charge management software, and then the big one that folks like to see is maintenance and repair risk mitigation. So we don't come in and do maintenance and repair on your buses. So your mechanics would still do all of the routine maintenance and repair work, but we would reimburse you for that. So you can think of it as brakes, tires, windshield wipers. Your mechanics still perform that work, but we reimburse you for the parts and the labor associated with it. For high voltage components. So
how about tech support though? Could they call somebody if they're trying to work on something? They call someone and ask for guidance.
For sure. Okay. Yeah. So we're, and I'll get into that in the next slide. We're sort of, what we're trying to be is a real long-term partner in electrification. We're not coming in and building a project, handing you guys some buses and saying good luck. We are very much there throughout the whole contract, to support you. So, we do a lot of driver and mechanic training. Certainly there are people you can reach out to. Each of our contracts has a dedicated customer success manager, and then basically our whole maintenance team that you can reach out to. It is not our goal to ever be coming out and doing actual work on your buses. We do that for the chargers. So we are responsible for the maintenance and repair of the chargers, pretty much full stop. But the buses generally, we are reimbursing you for that work. If it's a high voltage piece, we're going to send that to the dealer, and they're going to do that work. I'm going to jump ahead, but we're going to come back to the slide sort of related to this as well when we get into the actual numbers. So I talked a little bit about the partnership benefits and how we frame ourselves as a partner in electrification. So we have long-term performance-based contracts. So I think the proposal that we have here is a 12-year contract. So that is a pretty long period of time, right? And what we're trying to do is spread out the capital expenses that Highland is paying for over a number of years that make sense. And also have the district benefit from the EV buses for the longest period that we feel like we can support. So if you think about it, we're guaranteeing these buses as operational over the period that we contract for them. So the longer the term that we go for, the more risk Highland is at, right? Because if that bus breaks, say in year 9, and a battery fails, that's actually something that is on Highland dime to fix, not the district. So that is sort of the financial risk mitigation piece. So
essentially, it's a 12-year warranty.
It is. You can think of it as a 12-year warranty. Yep, on the vehicle and the charger, really the whole system. Yep. Which from a manufacturer, so you can think about the risk that Highland has taken there on the drivetrain. So the electric motor and the battery, the warranty, depending on what part, is between 5 and 7 years. So we're taking a fair amount of risk there. We can do that because we have so many of these assets across the country, and we feel really confident in them. And so we extend that to you, and we're taking a gamble, what we feel like is a pretty educated gamble, that they're not going to fail, right? But if you only have 6 of them and a battery goes out, that's a $100,000 battery that is going to be on the district, and so you're going to have a hard choice to make at that point if you own all the assets and do this all on your own. Yeah.
Quick question regarding when you say you guys do right now in just the Midwest alone, have there been any buses with catastrophic or anything like that with a battery?
Sure, there have. Not any that, not really any that we own. We've certainly, like any bus, these buses have issues, right? And it's a little bit of a different learning curve. Because we, own 1,200 of them, I would say we've seen a lot of the issues that come up across manufacturers. So we like to call ourselves OEM agnostic. So we deploy Bluebirds, we deploy IC, we deploy Thomas. And, we work closely with the manufacturer and the dealers. So I would say that we are probably in the best position to mitigate the issues that do come up. We have not had, I don't think, a full-on battery failure in any of our buses yet, which is great. I'm sure we will have one, right? In probably not too long. Right now, most of our buses are under warranty still, but certainly not all of them. So I think that was maybe a long-winded answer to your question.
No, it's okay. No.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So that's sort of the top bullet here. The other piece is predictable budgets, right? So we're telling you exactly what this is going to cost for the full period of our contract. So a lot of folks like that because unlike a diesel bus where, like we're seeing right now, really wildly fluctuating fuel prices, it's hard to budget for. Same with parts and things like that. Like you don't know when a major maintenance or repair event is going to happen on a diesel bus. With what we're giving you here, you can basically pretty efficiently budget for these 6 units for the next 12 years, which a lot of districts, appreciate. Here's one of the advantages of our contract. And then the ongoing support, I touched on this in the other one. We have a very strong support team, especially in the Detroit area because we have these other projects. So you guys are benefiting a little bit from like a cluster effect that we have going on in the Detroit area. If we were in Omaha, Nebraska, something like that, I'm probably not going to be able to offer you the same level of support that we can in Detroit because we employ local charger technicians here to work on our projects. If the charger goes down, we're probably going to have someone here in a matter of hours or the next day to come resolve that issue. And then, like I said, we don't do the direct work on the buses. We can, and if we have to, we will come out and assist with that. But the goal is to basically enable you guys and your mechanics to do that work and then be reimbursed by Highland. Sort of a three-way partnership on the buses between, Jody's team, Highland's maintenance repair team, and then the dealer, which in this case, you guys run mostly IC buses. So we've looked at, partnering with MTE here. To bring IC buses
Are
to.
the parts pretty easy to get? I mean, is there local parts distributors around here that we can?
We would be going through, for the most part, MTE, the dealer, for high voltage things for sure. But a lot of the parts are the same parts you're going to have on your regular buses. So that process doesn't really change. I don't know if Jody's team sources all those through MTE or if they source them independently, but that piece doesn't really have to change. Any other questions on this before I move down here?
Did you tell them how many years you guys have been in business?
Yeah, so we were founded in 2018, but we like to say 2019 because that's when we had our first vehicles on the road. So we're not, a 50-year-old company, but we weren't founded a year ago. So, I'm going to get into the actual proposal now for what we've been building here over the last number of months. This is our idea of what we've priced in for what the depot would look like. You guys actually have a very straightforward infrastructure deployment. I see a lot of depots. I was just in Chicago yesterday looking at a bunch of depots, and they're all way more complicated than what you guys have going on here. So you have a transformer right underneath the bleachers across from your bus lot. We had DTE out, I think it was about 2 weeks ago now, and Jody was able to attend, and one of our project developers. We had originally thought that maybe we would just upsize that transformer. DTE basically said, you should put in a whole new transformer. So the plan that, we helped solidify with them would be that we would put in a new transformer. You can see it right to the, I can't actually draw on the screen here, but it's basically those two pieces of electrical gear. Might just go point to it if that's all right. This would be the new transformer location. So it would look very similar to what you guys have under the bleachers already. We just have another one up here. And then we'd have our switch gear and electrical panel immediately up from that. And then those would feed 5 1-to-1 DC 50 kW chargers, which are a high output DC fast charger in a 1-to-1 configuration. So each bus would have its own charger. We wouldn't be changing the parking layout really at all. Sometimes we have to re-engineer lots when we install these. You guys have a very straightforward layout. We can just put them in the back of each of the buses, and they can back in. I think we actually looked at rear charge ports, but I'm looking at this map right now, realizing that it shows buses pulled in forward. So, Jody, if you want your buses to pull in forward, we can do either.
Yeah, they pull forward just like now. What size charger did you say?
So we're looking at 50 kW 1-to-1 chargers. Yep.
Is that transformer, when it gets relocated, will that be enclosed?
It's actually not getting relocated. It's going to be a whole new one. So you're still going to have the
Okay,
one.
so new one will have an enclosure.
You're still going to have the one under the bleachers.
Okay.
We would put probably just bollards around it. We're not going to like fence it off so you can't see it. If that's something you guys want, we could do that. But I personally don't think it
I
would
thought
be necessary.
DTE said they had a 2 foot space all the way around the fence. All the way around the unit. That's
Yeah.
the whole reason why we couldn't use the current buses because
Right.
our
I think
hands are really close.
Yeah, look closure.
I think you need
And they can't.
you need spacing on all sides.
Sure.
But I wasn't here with DTE, so
Oh.
if they told you we needed a fence, then we will price it a fence. But when I talked to Matt, I thought he told me we just needed bollards around it. But
I guess what I'm asking Joy is we ain't got this ain't gonna be an area where we're gonna worry about dumb kids or anyone walking over and saying, hey, what's going on over here?
Yes, you always worry about that.
I know, well, I got that trend engine all the time.
Yeah.
I mean, your current one is fenced in, right? So if you wanted it fenced in, we can certainly do that. It's in terms of the overall CapEx scope of the project, it's pretty negligible to put a fence around it. So certainly an option.
Thank
I'm gonna jump down here one more. This is sort of a recap of everything we just talked about what's included in the contract. So the buses themselves, the depot electrification, the chargers, charge management software, which is a really important piece to making sure these run correctly, the fuel, and then vehicle maintenance reimbursement and parts reimbursement for the high voltage components in out of warranty periods. We can jump down again. This is just highlighting that the grant really only covers a portion of what we're talking about here when we're looking at transportation or the deployment of EV buses as sort of a system, right? So it's going to cover 90% of the vehicle CapEx, 90% of the upfront cost of the charger and the bus. It's not going to cover any of the utility new service costs, so the things that DTE was here talking about. It's pretty standard that none of the grants that you have access to will cover those costs. So that's an upfront capital expenditure that highly covers completely. And then fuel, maintenance and repair, charge management, training, those are all soft costs that are built into our contract price that are not basically eligible for this grant. Some grants will cover some of those things, but this one does not. Okay, I'm gonna jump down one more. So this is an actual proposal in a simplified version that we put together here for you guys. So the per bus cost per year is $17,700. So that's 6 buses a piece, Type C IC buses. We modeled you guys running about 11,700 miles a year per bus. So that's about 75 miles a day. That can be played with, right? But really, you just need to think about staying under sort of that total mileage cap when we look at these. Part of the reason we do that is we plan for the worst case conditions. So
Mileage? Yeah.
Yeah.
Is that under our routes, our long routes even?
The longest route is just under 50 miles.
Times 2, right?
Yep.
So,
So it's not, and I'm going to get to that. It is not. These are not right for all of your routes all of the time during the year. So we're pretty upfront that this technology is really good for certain things, and that's where we should use it, right? And that's medium to short routes that operate pretty consistently all year long. And so when we looked at the routing data that you sent over, there were definitely 6 routes that fit that criteria. And in a lot of the year, right, like in the fall and in the spring when it's nice out, you can run these buses, 140 miles a day. But in the winter, when it's cold and nasty, they lose range. That's just a reality. And so we plan for sort of that worst case scenario. So that's what we've done here. If you want to run them on a longer route in the spring or in the fall, you certainly can. It's just like we want you staying under that mileage cap because that's what we've estimated the electricity costs with. And it's sort of, we can look at it as a bucket of miles over the whole year for you guys. What else did I want to cover here? The service scope, that's really all the things we've covered already. It's just sort of all synthesized here on one slide. Our contract does have a 3% escalator on it, so that contract price of 17,700 increases 3% per bus per year. And what else did I want to go over? 12-year contract, 180-day term. These are all things we can play with, but it's sort of what we've come up with after speaking with Deb and Jody about the transportation system and what you guys need. The goal here is to put them on routes that make sense, not on routes where you're not going to use all the mileage, because we want you using basically the buses as much as possible up to that mileage cap so you get the greatest benefit. We can jump down. I'm actually going to jump down 2 slides. We can come back to this capital cost summary slide. But I wanted to show how this compares to your current operation. So what we've looked at here, this is information that Deb and Jody provided on sort of a typical current bus that you guys have. And we're looking at the upfront cost of the bus, the estimated cost of maintenance and repair over that same 12-year lifespan of the vehicle, and then the fuel cost, and comparing that to our escalated cost over that same 12 years. And over the fleet, you're looking at an estimated savings of right around $400,000 for those 6 buses when compared to 6 diesel buses. If we jump, and that's with what I would say is maybe a stale diesel price, right? So we used $291 for the diesel price in that analysis that I think we were provided from you guys maybe in like January. So that shows how volatile the prices have been since then. If we jump down one more slide, this is that exact same analysis, just looking at it with like yesterday's diesel price average in the Detroit area, which was $555. Then you're looking at, $785,000 in savings over the lifetime of the contract. So pretty significant jump. I think the 555 number probably represents the top end, but you can think of savings probably somewhere in between those two. This is not an exact analysis by any means, right? We're estimating what the cost of maintenance repair is going to be based on information you provided us, but I think it's a big enough number that it shows there is probably going to be savings associated with the contract over the term. I'm going to jump back up. So those are all the slides that I wanted to make sure I got through. And I know that you guys have a number of other things on the agenda tonight, so I wanted to pause and try to answer any questions that you guys might have.
So you were talking about the longer routes in the winter and stuff.
Yep.
So the bus drivers, they don't want to get a freezing cold bus. They're going to get in there in the morning and they're going to start the bus, let it warm up. And I tried to do a little bit of homework, watch some videos on this. It sounds like when it's colder weather, like 15 below, not below, but 15 degrees and lower, there's a real struggle with the heating. I was worried about, one, the bus drivers, the kids, they're in the bus, like how does this heat up? And then 2, how long does it take to heat up and how much will that take away from that travel, that warm-up process?
Yeah, there's definitely a real issue that some folks have, not just with EV school buses, just with EVs in general, where if you don't have your bus plugged in, or your car plugged in even, and it's 10 degrees out, and you go drive it, it uses a bunch of its energy right away to warm up the battery pack in the system to the operating temperature it needs to be at, which is a problem. So the key is you need to precondition the battery. So similar to how you have a diesel bus plugged into a block heater all night long to warm up the coils, what we do with our buses is, you have that bus, it's plugged in all night long. Our software actually can control when it's charging and not controlling to charging to optimize the energy rates. But generally what we want to do is, a driver comes in 30 minutes ahead of time and keys on that bus, and we use that time to warm up the battery and to warm up the cabin. And that preserves a lot of the range that we might lose.
You're plugged in during that warm-up process.
Yeah, it's actually plugged in, so you can think of a driver coming back from his route or her route at 5:30 p.m., plugging that bus in, and we know that the next day that bus only is doing, 60 miles all day long or something like that. And energy might be really expensive right at 5 p.m. So we're actually not going to start charging that bus until, call it 9 p.m. And we have plenty of time once that charger kicks on. And then it's going to shut off at, 4 a.m. when it gets up to near 100%. But that bus is still plugged in and still being monitored by our software that you guys can see and we can see. So that's accomplishing a couple things. It's making sure we're not having any fault codes. And if there are, we're identifying them and sending that information to you. and then that bus is still plugged in that whole time. Your driver comes in the next morning, keys it on, leaves the bus. If it's really cold, right, and that's when the preconditioning would happen.
So basically, it's still gonna be 100% when we use the garage.
Yeah, it's still plugged in. Yeah. The key is you don't want to do the preconditioning either when the bus isn't plugged in, because then it's sitting there using its own energy, or you don't want to not precondition it at all and pull out and go run your route, because you're going to lose 15-20% right away just heating up that battery, which is what we want to prevent.
Scott, you mentioned fault codes.
Yeah.
Is there a scenario of some fault codes will prevent you from starting the vehicle?
Starting the vehicle,
Starting the bus, because I deal with a lot of PIVs as well, electric vehicles in my plan as well. There are some codes that prevents you from actually even starting your PIV from running. Any similarities to that?
If there was a high voltage issue that cropped up at night, certainly that bus is probably going to not let you go drive it if it's bad enough. But if that happens, we're going to see it. It's going to send us an alert. It's probably going to send you guys an alert. And we're probably going to be trying to remotely fix that problem ahead of time, or we're going to be telling you, hey, there's something seriously wrong with this bus. We don't think you should drive it today. If it is an issue that's that serious, it would probably be going to the dealer if it's like,
Second question.
Yeah.
I've noticed in the New England states, Michigan, Minnesota, Wisconsin, and Washington are all up there. Any issues with your buses during the cold weather? How many years? We got any experiences with the cold weather that you can pass on to us?
I mean, Jackson and Dearborn have been operating in cold weather in the last 2 years, right? So I would encourage you guys to reach out to them, and I can actually connect you.
Yep.
We've actually Holt just did a depot tour there to see their facility that we built for them and talk about their buses. They have a much earlier generation of bus than you guys from a different manufacturer, so it's not going to be an apples to apples correlation. We have not had any heating issues on the IC buses that we operate, which is what you guys would be getting. We have had heating issues on some of the other ones that we've had to go back and find solutions for. Yeah, the coldest place we have a bus right now, and it's a contract that I was very involved in, is in Red Lake, Minnesota. That is way up there by the Canadian border. Last year, I think they recorded an air temp of like -42 one day that they operated these buses in. Now, a little bit of a caveat, right? They operate really short routes in town, so they're not doing anything with these buses that's crazy. They're not trying to run.
When you say short routes, is it similar to our bus routes here?
Even shorter.
Short.
Their total mileage in a day is maybe 50 miles with these buses when it's really cold like that. Yeah. But certainly they operate fine. It's just it takes more energy to heat.
You mentioned a different manufacturer. I'm familiar with suppliers. Sometimes the supplier can't supply for you. You have to go another route. How many suppliers do we have in the Midwest, manufacturers, that we are capable of calling up and saying, hey, we need some parts?
Yeah. I'll be honest, Jody might know more about that than me when it comes to IC buses directly. When I say suppliers, I'm thinking of the different bus OEMs that we use.
Right, exactly.
So,
same way.
here we've planned for IC buses. So most of that parts support is going to come directly from the dealer, MTE.
yourself.
Yeah. Yep. And they both have facilities.
Dealer in the Midwest?
Correct. Yeah.
Dealer in the Midwest?
Yeah. Yeah, I'm trying to remember the town, but it's who you buy your buses from right now.
Cool.
Well, yeah.
Okay. Thank you.
So when we talked about there's these issues, he asked you about if the thing need to be brought out for service. Would there be a return? Like we're going to give you a loaner bus while this bus is down?
The answer is probably no. So like when you send a diesel bus to Midwest Transit right now, do they give you a loaner bus? They don't, right? So it's going to be a similar issue or similar thing to that. We have sourced loaner buses for districts before. If it's like going to be a really long lead time parts issue, that's not included in our contract, but it is certainly something that we have done for districts. Generally what we do is we think of it very similar to one of your current buses. If you have a bus out, you're probably going to use, one of your spare fleet buses to fill that gap. Obviously, worst case scenario, if all 6 of these EV buses died, that would be, a terrible for us. And we would certainly work together as a partner to plug that gap. It is not something we're expecting to happen, and it's not something we've experienced. you could say the same thing on the diesel side. If you got 6 new diesel buses and there was a manufacturer recall, you could have all 6 of them out. Right?
I also know, so you said you do part of training. And I also know with electric vehicles, they have a higher torque rate in pulling off. So is that something training wise we'll give to our bus drivers? Because it's a different drive, correct?
It is a different drive. It's a lot like driving a huge golf cart, honestly.
Exactly.
That's sort of what it feels like.
Yes.
So we do a lot of training on the regen braking because we want your drivers to be as efficient as possible. So we do that training. We do training, how to plug the bus in, unplug it. You'd be surprised how many problems we have with that. Yeah.
Yeah, same thing. I was reading, like I said, watching videos and stuff like that on this. Do you guys have the same data some of these other? It might have been you guys. I watched a YouTube video on where
it was probably
a certain driver that's aggressive.
Was it Bus Talk?
It might have been. Yeah, a certain driver where like they drove aggressive, and you guys can tone down their bus, dial down their bus because of the you see the data like a little aggressive with the acceleration and stuff.
We have a whole series of YouTube videos that our director of technology puts out on EV buses that he calls Bus Talk, where he talks about EV buses. So if you want to hear about that, you could go watch those. I would say we as a company have more experience than anyone else in the country, with the operation of these buses. So I think we're in a pretty good position to provide training, and we've done it a bunch. We have a whole training team that comes out to each one of our projects and does that with drivers and technicians. And it's not like a one-time training where we come out and then we're gone. You guys get new drivers, right? You get new mechanics. Generally, we come out and do a refresher of training when you need to. Obviously, you guys are going to become experts in operating these as well, so you'll be able to pass along a lot of that training.
And train the trainer?
Train the trainer, exactly.
I guess the last question I had for you is, I think the last one, the chargers. You said you guys do the work on those?
Yep.
So what is the warranty on the chargers?
Yeah, so the charger warranty is generally we see about 3 years charger warranty, 3 to 5 years. Really, we're giving you a charger warranty for the full length of our terms. Regardless of if the charger is under warranty or not, it's our job to make sure that it is operating. We have a 97% charger uptime guarantee. And so if that charger is broken, we have to come fix it or replace it. There are some things we might ask you guys to do remotely, like, soft resets on the chargers and things like that. But if it's anything where you're like opening up that charger and doing any work, one of our technicians is going to come out and do that work.
Where's the closest one at?
We have technicians in Detroit because we have so many buses there right now.
Yeah. Staying on the chargers thing, our chargers we have, when we go to plug them in, they have an indicator to tell them that it's actually plugged in. Do we have something to show a bus? I don't want a bus driver just plug it in, assuming that it's running, and then next thing you know, they go a whole full day and come back and find out like, well, it looks like it's plugged in.
Well,
we hear that crap a lot.
We're not going to have that issue. So
Good.
There is an indicator. There's a green light on these chargers, if I'm not mistaken. But basically, part of the software's job is if a driver comes back and plugs that charger in and it is not charging, it's going to tell Highland and it's going to tell you guys.
Oh, nice.
You basically have a dashboard that shows you all your buses, where they are driving around, their state of charge, how much range they have left. And when they come back, they're going to plug in and you're going to see what state of charge they're at. If they're plugged in and charging, if they're plugged in and not charging, right, which is what you're talking about, which is what we would want to prevent. Because we're actually like the worst case sort of in the charging world, right, is that you think your bus is charging and it's not.
Right.
So we have a lot of controls to try to make sure that doesn't happen.
You guys do that remotely?
Yep. And you guys do it.
We do the same. We do the same as well.
You have an app. You guys have a desktop and an app. Yeah.
Nice.
So there's actually, we can do a whole tutorial on that if you would like, but basically there's a number of views you can have. You can sort of have, you guys probably don't want it, but Jody might. Yeah. You can have like sort of an all-encompassing view that gives you sort of everything and all of the permissions, and then you can actually extend that to drivers or other staff and sort of limit the views. So like if you had a driver that always drove this bus and you wanted them to have the app and be able to see when their bus is plugged in and not plugged in, you could give that to them. And then you'll have sort of a master interface where you can see everything. I think I don't have anything else. Next steps in my mind, I know Deb has a contract from us right now that I think you guys are reviewing. So we would want to get through the contract review process, and then I'm sure I would come back and maybe do another presentation if needed and answer more questions. So.
Thank you for coming out, Scott.
One of you guys had asked, what happens if we do decide to do 3 buses versus 6? Can you explain to
It
them how that?
was asked previous year.
Yeah, so if you decided to do 3 buses instead of 6, it's certainly something you could do. The grant award does not stipulate that you deploy all the 6 buses that you got funded for. We would, when we say we, you guys would be giving money back to the state if you did that, right? Because they're not going to let you keep that money.
No, I get it.
Our pricing will go up slightly if you only do 3 buses. So if you think about the infrastructure cost that we have right now, we're amortizing that over 6 buses. And so some of that is not going to change all that much when we reduce the bus number. So we're going to have more capital spread across less assets. So the contract price is going to go up slightly. Probably not a ton, but a little bit if you guys wanted to choose, if you wanted to go from 6 to 3.
Good. Can we fiscally be responsible with 6 buses?
I don't,
What do you think?
we're not sure.
Okay. Thank you. I was hoping to say yeah.
We're
talking about it. Gotcha. Damn, I had another question.
Do we have your information, if, your email, if we have a question? If, any of the board have a question?
Pass his
Could you
information.
Yeah,
to you
please
guys.
do.
If we do that, if, we actually ask a question, how about we do this? We ask it to Deb.
Sure.
And then Deb, but will you answer the whole board?
Yes, sir.
If somebody, just so we can all be a part of it?
I agree.
Something.
Yeah, because there's a question
That'd be
that
great.
just you're gonna pop in my head. I'm
Something's gonna
sure.
pop up.
I mean,
when you leave.
I know it's a what if. I hate saying that, but I'll ask it while you're here. Say they get in a car accident. Yeah, just a vehicle accident.
Yep.
Something happens to us, God forbid. How has it been with the batteries? Have they been salvageable, or like
Yeah.
you've been able to get those rebuilt, or how's that been?
If your driver gets in an accident in the bus is totaled. Like probably what we're doing is insurance is covering us getting a new bus, right? If there is still value in that battery pack, we're obviously going to figure out ways to utilize that. But we're going to do whatever the cheaper option is, whether it's fixing the bus or getting a new one.
Okay, and the lead time on those, if you have a surplus still, or it might be a while. But
Well, I mean, if we total the bus, usually they take about 9 months to produce, 8 or 9 months. Yeah.
they're already all spoken for.
Well, I don't know if they're all spoken for, but that's just when we put an order in. I see Thomas, Bluebird, whoever start building it, and that's probably the fastest production times we're seeing right now. I think it's actually probably comparable on the diesel bus side.
You mentioned Bluebird. They went to EVs too. Bluebird did.
Yeah, all 3 of the major manufacturers
Okay.
have had an EV product now for probably the past 7, 8, 10 years. Yeah.
So you mentioned that we would go through insurance. Your insurance, our insurance.
It depends. That's the question. Generally, well, not generally, we will both carry insurance on the vehicles. So there will be times like when you're operating the vehicle, it's not our driver, right? So you guys would need to be the insured there for sure. On the depot, it gets a little more complicated and is probably more like what the actual, like if something happened to all of the buses when they're on the depot, it's probably more of like a nuanced conversation about whose insurance would cover that frankly is over my head. But there would be a conversation between the insurance agencies at that point, depending on what the issue was, right? You know, if it was a lightning strike while all the vehicles were sitting in the depot, or if it was vandalism, those might be 2 different things, right?
Right. Is the insurance comparable to a normal or diesel bus?
I don't know like the details of your insurance, so I'm not going to comment on that. But
That's like 70 more, but they would not give me an actual dollar amount. That's
Okay.
more, but it would be
they are a more expensive asset, right?
how many buses we did also.
Great presentation. I see how you're viewing to us, but I got to ask one important question because I've been bothering my. How are you making money?
So
How are you making money if you guys are doing all this?
Yeah.
Where's the money generated for Highland?
So part of that 17.7 service payment, right, is Highland's margin, right? So there's a reality where you guys can do this all on your own, piecemeal it all out, and you're going to come in cheaper than that, right? Because there is no Highland in there managing it. Part of it is that, right? But you have to think about your time. You have to think about if anything goes wrong. You have to think about a whole bunch of stuff, how long you want to run the vehicles, and Highland very quickly probably becomes a lot more affordable than you doing it on your own. But if you do it perfectly, nothing goes wrong, it's probably cheaper for you guys to do it without us. But you're not benefiting from, the 1,200 buses of expertise that we have over the last 7-8 years.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Good. That's good.
Okay. Well, Deb, I'm sure we'll be in touch shortly to talk about, the contract next steps. And, hope I'm back having another conversation with you guys sometime in the next month or so.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Great job.
I appreciate it.
Safe travels back home.
Thank you.
Riding one of these buses?
I was hoping we could have had one here today. That was our ultimate
We-
goal.
Is there an opportunity where you can send us somewhere so we can go? I mean, I'll
Certainly.
travel. somewhere
Yeah,
to
we
ride a
just
bus,
did.
check
We
it
just
out.
did a depot tour and ride along in Dearborn a couple weeks ago with Holt and Howell.
Could you tell Deb the next time that it's going to be offered?
Well, I think
Or
we
if
should
there's gonna be
we should work to find a time that would work for everyone who's interested, because Dearborn's going to ask us when it would make sense, and so
Perfect.
they're pretty flexible. We could do it at Jackson or at Dearborn. There's also maybe an option. I can talk to the guys at MTE. They may have a bus that we could bring down and you guys could ride, but I might be totally making that up. They might not actually have one. So I'll check with them before.
Understood.
I love your honesty. Thank you.
Well, I appreciate your guys' time, and look forward to talking to you further in the future.
Thank you.
Thanks so much.
Okay, we are going to move on to number 4, review of the proposed agenda for June 25th, 2026, our regular board meeting. We're going to cover board policy updates, the first reading, subject B, subject C, Hot Rods Motorcycle Awareness and Suicide Prevention Foundation. We'll have a presentation presenting suicide awareness benches. New business, we'll have covering the general fund bills. We will be going over the approval of minutes. C, approval of MHSAA 2026-2027 membership. Subject D, we'll go over the hiring of James DeSilvis, middle school social studies teacher. Subject E, hiring of Kimberly DeSilvis, high school Spanish teacher. You both graduates, 89 and 91. Yes. Welcome home. And then subject F, hiring of Adam Giamarusti. Wow, I apologize, Adam. High school science teacher. That was tough. Subject D, teacher probability status for the 2026-27 school year. Subject H, the adoption of the 2025-26, the final budgets for general fund, food service, recreation fund, sinking fund, and student activity. And last but certainly not least, subject I, the adoption of the 2026-27 general fund, food service, recreation, sinking fund, and student activity budgets. This will be on our Thursday meeting. This is going to be in the meeting. Just a reminder to everybody, it will start at 5 p.m.
Can we get pizza?
And
It's always my question.
I would love to say yes to that. And if it was up to me, I love pizza too. So, all right. With that, I am going to go on number 5 to a report of the director and business finance, Miss Deb. The check registry. Does anybody have any questions for Deb for the check registry? Okay, that's pretty simple, Deb. Does anybody have any questions for the purchasing card for Deb? Anything got emailed to Deb? Anything? Okay. Well, with that, I guess, do you have anything to add?
I have, our audit officially begins on Monday.
Okay.
Yay.
Hey, I'm so happy for you.
Yes, I am too. Our fresh fruit and vegetables grant was submitted this past week. We are wrapping up filter first. We've spent all the money. Doty's finishing this week. Yeah, the mapping. So, but money's been spent.
Okay.
And approved. Money's already came back into us. So Doty's wrapping up his part. The food spend down that was approved, the MDE did the final approval for our renewal of Sodexo. That is done. And we still have not heard anything on the Section 12E, the school infrastructure grant.
Okay.
Not heard anything. And then we also have not heard anything further on E-rate funding. The last that was put out by the MDE was that it was being questioned at the Fed level, whether or not it was going to stay active or not.
When should we hear
How long
on
have we
that?
been waiting on that? I'm sorry. How long?
Same question,
A
literally.
few months.
Yeah, since it's.
Yeah. Is there a deadline? No? Okay.
Well, there you go.
They do
It's
budget
incredible.
deadlines and then they
Yeah,
know for
right.
6 months after, so.
Okay.
We opened up the RFPs on last Friday for the serving line purchase, which is in there for your approval.
Yep.
Jody and I and Jen Brown, we all work together and we are all in agreement as to the items that are being purchased. They are smart wise and we can have the right electricity for them. All that's
Yeah, it will come out verified. That way we're not
changing everything, so.
And everything looks like it'll happen this year for the beginning of the fall school year?
It
Or is it
very-
promising?
It is very good promising.
Is it promising?
I will, once you approve it, I have the POs I can hit generate and then. I'll do your
Tonight, we're
signatures.
voting tonight.
So,
We will vote. Thank you.
That's all I've got.
All right, perfect. Thank you. All right, now we're gonna move on to our facilities director
Yeah,
with
please don't feel like you have to stay.
facilities update, Mr. Dunn.
All right, we're sold, playground area, we're getting some engineered, wood fiber chips, refreshed over there for next school year. Goes back in July, playground area outside of Club Care is getting new equipment and turf, being funded for by the ISD.
Really?
Johnson, Michael, Joey, myself went out there, they had to move the sheds, back out of the way, so we muscled them out of the way. And, they also got the enclosed, so they're, putting a fence all on that backside, so kids can't just take off and run. Our only requirement was they gotta have gates so that the mowers can get in, it's also gotta have gates in case there's an emergency, they can get out. Because that's the route to our checkpoint.
Gotcha.
Tree trimming, we have 3 trees that I had Miles cut down out there. There's probably an additional 3 trees that are dead that need to go because they're near the playground area. The pavilion out there is gonna get a facelift. We're gonna stain it, fix some leaf straw stuff, put some manufacturing, the engineered wood fiber chips are gonna be blown in there so they can utilize that. We're gonna repurpose some picnic tables and put underneath there. The roof had a catastrophic failure in 3 areas. So
Lovely to hear.
We met with Corey Duval over the weekend, he's scheduling, to do repairs, this weekend, provided they can get the material. That's gonna be under 10 grand, but he's gonna fix them so they don't leak, so.
Nice.
Dealing with Corey.
You said catastrophic. I mean, that's a pretty big word. Oh, wow. Did we document that, Jody?
Yes.
We did? So, okay.
So.
The reason I'm saying that, board, is just so it can be conveyed to the public for the need.
Why we had to spend the money?
Chauncey put together a little slideshow and got it to Kelsey.
She's been
Okay, great.
There's gonna be one tile that are-
Thank you.
New carpet, we're gonna do carpet 117, 118, again, those are the big rooms that are combined, right?
Yep.
We just got a wall down the middle, and then 106, 107, you remember last year they didn't get any carpet, they're getting, the new carpet. I had a complaint, there was some mold in the ceiling tiles next to the vents. Johnson pulled them down, it was actually dust stuck to it, it wasn't mold, but it looked
That's
like
good.
it was black, but it was just dust. So my sisters found mold was dust, because it got a little damp and it stuck to it, so. Basketball court outside, we met with, JV Seal Coat on, 6:15 on Monday. Carol wanted to know if she could recoat that, basketball court. He said he could recoat it, but it's just like paint the turd. It's garbage. I asked him, I said, can you put an 1.5 inch coat on top of it? He goes, yes, I could. That would probably be better, but no cars. can
Last
do it.
one longer at least.
So he's gonna, he's working me up a quote now, see if we can do it. I told him, I said, we don't have a budget for it, so don't worry.
Yeah.
Just let me know what it is.
Gotcha.
That's what I told her. Cafeteria door needs replacing there. It's an old wood door. They all are. And if we can rebuild it, we're gonna put it back. If not, then I'll have to call out a company that will install them. Meet up and eat up. We worked through some logistic issues the first time through, staging, cleanup. We still have Cub Care in that building, so we got to be mindful of that. They still use that cafeteria for lunch. And there's a little play area in the back there. I think we've worked through all that.
And that's happening today, right? It happened.
Yeah.
It's already done. How many?
So just to piggyback on his, so yesterday, Wednesday, we had 1,002 meals that were distributed.
Nice.
Wow.
Nice.
And then today, we distributed 847 meals. So a huge shout out to Jen Brown and her crew, all the volunteers, the entire staff, all the Jefferson employees, parents, everybody that came and helped.
We had to transport food from all the food from over to that. There's so many people. But then we had to replenish so up till what,
10:30.
10:30 last night. We were shopping all around the road trying to get supplies.
And we made, so in part of one of the food items is sandwiches. So we made 900 sandwiches last night. We put 900 corn dogs into Ziploc or twisty bag. And then 900 bags of chicken tenders, chicken nuggets, chicken, popcorn chicken.
Absolutely.
Tired of chicken, are you?
I mean, it was absolutely.
Start this party over next Wednesday, right?
Yes. I mean, huge thank you to everybody. I mean,
Angela got almost 464 ounce juice of juice. And she had the back of the Bronco laid out. It was filled, the whole back was filled up to the windows.
I've seen pictures. It's unbelievable.
It
And the
was,
dog weren't
Unbelievable.
great.
Like if you guys, I mean,
It was just,
I have
Yeah.
stuff going on, but I
Wow.
also have a pickup
Amazing.
truck, so
I mean, the amount of people that just stepped up
good.
and just.
I'm glad to hear
Glad
that.
to hear that.
Phenomenal staff. I mean, I mean, phenomenal volunteers. Nobody complained. Everybody was smiling, laughing. We were all making jokes. It was fabulous. I mean, everybody really was pitched in to help the community. It was great.
Very good to hear. Thank you, guys.
North Elementary, all the classrooms, all 4 classrooms.
Yes.
The fifth grade should be moved
Yes.
by the end of this week.
Right on.
The air handler over in the gym cafeteria is freezing up. Pretty sure it's low refrigerant.
Yep.
Check it for leaks. It's old, right? But it's causing a water buildup on the roof, and it's causing it to leak. So Michael's been over there looking at it. I think we're ready to put some refrigerant in it. I think we're ready to go with that. Playground, they're getting also a refresh of engineering wood fiber, I'm sorry. PTO requested a walking path. I'm looking for a sod cutter. The plan is to cut rows of sod from the trail and fill for gravel.
Don't we know?
Great one for me. I did talk with my pool.
Oh.
Rented information.
That's the plan. Cut it out and fill for gravel.
Oh,
Put it above the grass and so on.
Yep.
And it should be great for walking. The gate in the parking lot needs to be fixed. It's dinged up. It won't go through all this
Is it-
by some of the website.
say it.
Concrete, Ashley, oops, got spelled wrong, but Ashley's gonna finish the repair, that he started before the school year. You remember the holiday before school started?
Yep.
Me, Amy, Vanessa, Jim.
The curb.
Dad was there, Carrie was there, we're out there trying to figure that route out, right? What way the bus is gonna go, what way the car's gonna go, and I think it's doing great, by the way. But we had to cut out that curb so the buses could turn. We didn't have time to put it back in because it's got a cure. He's gonna finish that up. We have not paid him a dime for any of it yet.
A full year?
And maybe
But he's gonna finish it, so he's
Yeah.
gonna finish it and,
Is he going to haul away all that stuff that's there? He is? Okay, great.
and maybe put a stripe in the last parking spot so nobody parks there.
Yeah, nobody with a big camper parks there, so it sticks out the bus.
It happened.
Middle school, 5th grade classrooms again are coming in. They're, the secondary moves from that, so they're putting the classrooms in one area. They want to keep all the 5th graders in one area, and that secondary moves, they gotta move the people that are there someplace else. There's a whole bunch of moves going on at the middle school,
So where's the fifth grade area?
same as it used to be, down by the curriculum. That's curriculum, yes.
Okay, cool.
So Ryan's got a list of rooms, all these secondary rooms, there's probably a list of 12 rooms that are getting moved or new people going in. So we're trying to refresh them, look at what they need, focusing on the fifth grade hall, but every one of them, if we can paint them, that's what we're gonna do. We changed the carpet to those rooms because some of those rooms look bad. They weren't originally gonna go in there, but we moved them. So they are going in there.
You got the manpower to do all this?
We're doing it.
Okay.
I brought my pig sprayer in, so we got some pig sprayers, so it's a lot easier to spray things, but
Right.
a lot of work, definitely. Ryan and I walked through and reviewed all the classrooms, what they needed. We did that last week. Gym floor is getting recoated, the end of June here. Again, tree trimming, the front of that building, and trees are hanging over on that rubber roof. Gotta get them trimmed, gotta get them off there, so, Miles is gonna, I'm working with Miles to get that done. Roofing of the curriculum office has got a catastrophic fail down there. The gym area is still blowing in the wind.
So
The
how does that
restroom-
work with getting the floor in the gym
Yeah.
resurfaced when the roof is not?
So, and the wrestling room. Again, I met with Corey over there. Corey actually went over on his own afterwards. He actually fixed all the leaks but one in the wrestling room. There's literally 6 of them. Just by what he's seen, he just fixed it because he was there, didn't charge us. But I got to meet with him again once they get done with soap. We're gonna go over there and we're gonna pin down that roof and do some things over there and get that wrapped up. So
So it doesn't leak on
it
the
doesn't
new
leak,
floor.
yes. Well, right now I'm not worried about leaking. It's not leaking. I'm worried about blowing off because it's not pinned down.
Right.
So if there's little areas that you can see it literally moving,
Oh, man.
hoping it don't blow away.
And you can't set nothing on it, can you?
Doing that floor. So.
Jeez, it beats.
On the west parking lot, I talked with JB Seal Coat, who seal coated the other parking lots, see if it was worth sealing that area. I think that was the best one, was the west where the teachers parking. He said yes, he could do it, so he's getting me a quote. I met with him Monday. High school sidewalks, I talked to Ashley yesterday. I'm supposed to meet up with him tomorrow about a plan. There's a couple more concrete slabs that are up, 1.5 to 2 inches, trip hazard.
Yep.
We gotta get those fixed. I don't see by fall hurt ourselves. Gym floor, or the gym fascia, I don't know if you guys seen it, but it's ripped off, blown off. Corey has a guy that does their bending, the braking, and the racking of that, because it's big. There's nothing around here that, I can't break something that big, so, he said he's got a company that he's gonna get a hold of and see if he can get him out here to get fixed for us. Deb mentioned the cafeteria, we're prepping for that. We got new serving lines coming in, and we also got that new seating that's gonna be coming in hopefully before the school year starts.
Yes, we're speaking it.
We have a tentative July 28th date.
Delivery?
I like it.
Base.
Wow.
They actually build them here, or not, in Michigan. So they like to get them someplace and come and they build them.
Good. That's a lot earlier than we thought.
Yeah, they snuck it in at the right time.
Yeah, high school.
This is-
Food service
It's
spend out.
the spending. Yep.
A number of rooms are getting carpeted at the high school. Gym floor is gonna be recoated, last part of the gym. They're gonna do them both. The math wing chiller, I think, had a catastrophic fail, and we may need to get an RFP to get that fixed. It was $137,000 to repair. The good news, $121,000.
Oh, is
What was
it
that for?
math wing chiller?
It's just old, right? They can fix it, but
And more
It's cheaper to
efficient.
get a brand new one with a warranty?
And more
Should be able to
efficient.
use it.
oh, well, we just got an estimate from them. We'd have to send it out and go to the.
Or-
Sure.
We can do that.
Was this Seeb?
Steve gave us the.
Seeb, yeah.
Jody asked if they're putting that very new refrigerant in that's coming in. I just talked to a guy who's actually working up there. The new refrigerant now is actually flammable.
Yeah, but it's.
So I want to make sure,
Yeah.
let's ask if that's the refrigerant that's going in there. If not, cool. But if it is, if it's flammable, only people that are actually trained now, they won't let anyone else touch it. I was just talking to a guy over there, like, flammable? So just ask if that Freon's flammable. Appreciate it.
We thought that's what they were gonna do at the middle school. They did it. They had enough. They were able to do it in the whole law.
Okay.
And they had enough of them, so.
Cool.
Sports and recreation, football field, concrete, that section over there by number 4 stairs needs to be cut out, replaced. I talked to Ashley about that. He's waiting on me, Ashley. Soccer dugouts, the scoreboard box out there, it's gonna need some attention. That wall rotted out in the back. We temporarily fixed it, but I think we still need to do something with that. Ball diamonds, we talked with, Bondi, scoreboards out there, dirt surfaces out there need to be refreshed. The fascia on the birdhouse needs to be replaced and painted, so there's a lot to do out there.
So you know the last time the scoreboards even worked?
So the softball scoreboard work, we moved it in a couple of years ago, because when we put the fence in, we did that, as coaches. Bonnie's wanting to move his in because his are, I don't know, it's 400 feet or something.
Yeah.
When he does that, he's gonna have to also move his in, but his scoreboard, they had a company down, they can't figure out, because it's so old, 2 of the innings don't even work. Bonnie was talking about wireless, the cost for wireless, and that same style scoreboard was $18,000. Softball JV scoreboard doesn't work, there's a wire cut, we don't know where it's at. I don't know if they've ever used a JV baseball scoreboard, so I don't know if that works.
That used to work back in 17, and anytime it had inclement weather, it always tripped the breaker, and I'd have to reset it. And it's been a problem. There's been a nicked wire for a lot of years on that.
We got a bunch of work that needs to be out there.
That used to be the varsity field.
From community members to get it done, but we got it all identified. The storm sewer project, that's been completed. It's been inspected. They submitted it to the state. They're going to be out every year to make sure that we're in compliance with the state. They did report, though, that the storm sewer basins in every parking lot need to be sediment vacuumed out because it doesn't look like anybody's ever done. So it should be done every 2 years, 3 years.
Put it on the list.
It said that's what anybody's ever done. So.
There's a big list.
Put it on the
Walk out
list.
and meet with Kyle on Monday. Let's go over a couple open items. Jen Krause made mention of the office over here, that the front doors don't have pins in it a lot. I'm talking with Kyle, he said they probably didn't put them in there because they got the big glass in the front. They don't want whoever's back there to run up in the harm's way and worry about putting that in. They need to just go to the room that have them right there, the locks, and lock them. So I think Jen still wants them up there. So when he gets here, we're gonna have a conversation about it. Also, Jen Wendell's room at north does not have the holes in the ground. She's got the boot, but she don't have the holes in the ground. Jen, you talked about filter first transportation. We have one new driver we're going to be on board for next year. Midwest will be on site in 2 weeks for a bus issue, warranty issue. Bus right, we'll continue to work with bus right because when we transfer kids from SOAP to the middle school, it only allows you to do one group at a time. We're doing 2 because we're moving 5th grade. So we're working with them to help us make those changes. I would say that's it, but I'm going to talk about that.
Thank you. I have a question about
electronic
that.
buses. So the electronic buses, the bus has a 5-year warranty anyway. So you're talking about warranty. The batteries have a warranty of 8 years.
Takes speed out of the 12, right?
The last 4 are the ones that are the nervous ones.
Right.
A couple other things. Chargers, they're 50,000 watt chargers. BT gets a rebate on those. Charging of a bus is about 7 cents a mile is what the electricity is.
Okay.
7 cents a mile, talking with the guys from Midwest. When he was talking about bus routes, shorter bus routes, because I was asking him about still use them for sports runs, he says it's better to use it for bus routes because the braking system is what helps charge the
Right.
backup. So
Driving straight.
that was out.
Speaking of bus routes, how many bus routes do we have? 12? What is the range for those? We're at
And the most got the most is 50 miles.
50 miles and everything else shortened?
Yeah,
What's the shortest one we have by chance, you know?
32.
So it's not a crazy distance. It's only really 18-mile difference. That's not crazy.
No, it's not.
It's not.
I think we're working. What got me was the cold weather stuff. I mean, which is always
Three
gonna be
different schools. One of them, we got a hold of a bus driver, that was a dispatcher, and,
She's like, don't get
hey,
it.
none
Really?
of, yeah.
Cold?
If we can get them, and it makes sense.
I don't know
say
how
no,
old the
because
person was.
No, cold, were they, because they're cold in the winter?
Just normal
He
driving.
mentioned about, not
It's like
getting
they
replacements if they
hesitate.
break down. Well, currently, we don't have a service contract when we buy a bus.
Right.
We're paying for a service contract with him.
So they'll do the homework for us then, sure, right?
Well,
Wow.
he said that, well, you don't get one today, you're not gonna have one tomorrow, but today we don't have a service contract. We're not paying someone what is it?
$117,000.
$107,000 a year.
Yeah.
No, well, he said that goes up.
That goes
It's 3%, which is
So
about
I just-
$550 a year per bus,
I
Well,
just mathed
give or
it.
take, and then
I
it,
did it too. You
That
finish
count-
at 151, 415, 81 would be your 12th year.
So, I mean, that's over $1 million over 12 years, right?
2.6 million, 662,000,
Is that what it is?
$407.98.
That's not
And
what
in the grant,
it's saying, but
in the grant, it's 200, and
what were we gonna say?
To,
$2.6 million.
Compounded.
We gotta pay 10% of that.
Right.
So if we bought the buses ourselves, paid the infrastructure of $170,000, maybe, again, they're gonna give us 70 or 90% of that. Provided it's under $2.6 million. I can get the buses for $380,000. I would talk to Midwest. It's just where you wanna spend your money. That's a lot of money to spend every year. We can buy a bus every year.
yeah.
so I would like to. They're gonna pay for all of the electricity.
And they're also in charge of the electricity. So when there's peak periods, they're not charging our buses.
Right.
Which we can control that also.
Right.
With the chargers.
Right. I'm just wondering how, in the long term, over the course, they're showing us that we're going to save this amount of money
Compared
in
to diesel.
comparison because of the price of diesel and maintenance and all of these
Maintenance is
things.
covered. There's an 8-year warranty on it, or 5-year warranty on the bus, 8 years on the battery. Right now, Ford, GM, and Chrysler are giving 100,000-mile freaking warranties on these things because the only thing that goes bad on is the servo motors, and servo motors go forever.
Yeah.
The only issues they're having is bad.
So you're saying doing this ourselves, not.
I'm just letting you know. That's all I was just giving you the
I just
information.
want the comparison if we're running diesel instead of running these.
I think, are you saying
Still
that the
gotta-
grant, so is just laying it out there, the grant is ours, that grant is ours. We could go out and purchase our own infrastructure, is what you said. We could purchase our own buses and take all of the liability on ourselves and not pay a contract, which is 100 and how many thousand for the year
I
one?
might need more next
And-
year, actually, but yeah.
It was 100 and what, 7?
You start out at 106,200, right?
Okay.
17,700.
And then it compounds all the way to 151,000
maybe
at
147.
12 years.
147.
Yep, the final year.
That's a lot of money.
I did
1.5
For service.
1.5 million.
1.5
And
million.
they look
But
at
we're also.
And they own the buses and take them. Ooh, I didn't know that. That's a good.
Yeah, we don't get buses at the end of it. This is just a lease.
That was
So,
okay.
I just want to throw all that out there.
Well, throw
It's
this
a
out
lot to
there,
consider.
all right? You're the one that's gonna try and convince us whether we need to or not. Where do you stand on this, Jody?
I think
Do you think we should go for 6? Yes. What would
if
you like?
we get a hold of DTE and they'll install that, that's 170. I thought it was more than that. We said $170,000 to move that bus. They couldn't upgrade the bus that was there because it's too close to our.
Facility. It's to where the people
Said I
are.
don't know how. I think we must have put that in.
Yeah. Or is grandfathered in before they change the rule.
Yeah. So.
Anything under a certain KVA has distances. That's what it is.
So that's why we can't put it there. It's gonna go across the street, which is fine.
It's fine.
He said it wasn't that far. He said it was quite easy. That's what I know.
Yeah.
DTE guys in Midwest, I have a meeting with him tomorrow. So you can get the buses for 38,000
Each.
each. And he also, he's the one that gave me all the information about the mileage and stuff. And he also said DTE has discounts for each one of those units that we put in, charging units. I think they're 50,000 a piece, but they give you a discount for it. And he said they may even put that bus in.
if we purchase their services with the 50 kVA times 6.
Well, Shane, I would counter with this. Do you think we have the manpower to run it ourselves? Do you think we have the capability of running everything ourselves?
Well, that's
Are you saying yes, we do, or no?
No, I'm saying that's the question.
Yeah. I personally, that's just too much for Jody and her, the team like that. Holy cow, that's a lot.
well, I mean, I think you'd be hiring contractors to do that work, right? And then
DTE would do, yes.
DT would do all the heavy lifting. Then we would probably have Steelgrave Turner build the service out there, which the service then would control our 50 kVA charging structures. And then the only thing that you would do is you would have to probably have somebody, I don't know if there would be some sort of a, whatever chargers we purchased, they would probably have some sort of a backhaul infrastructure, same as what they're going to do. Yeah, exactly. It's real simple. But we wouldn't be paying $117,000 a year, $150,000 at the end of it. We would be kind of alone.
Let's just say we try and run it ourselves, and all of a sudden we go through issues and problems of trying to find the right connections, trying to find the right parts. We're in an infancy part right now where
You have buses to sell when you're done.
Yeah, we don't have a lot of that.
They take the 6 buses. I didn't know that. That's actually, Nick, you and I talked about that when you called me the other day, and I thought you were going to ask that. I forgot all about that. Was the buses hours at the end of the 12 years?
By the end of that, could there be another grant possibility for us to transition into another?
Fourth round,
One
and
time.
this is the last one they're doing.
Yeah, this is probably the last thing.
Because there isn't the
So a lot of
push
schools
from
got
Fed
to use-
for,
The state
Well, there's
better no
4
longer pushing.
No, I'm just a little confused because they're saying, well, it'll last for 12 years. We get it for 12 years. I mean, some board here, 8 to 10 years from now, is going to have to make a decision on what decision we make too. So
100%.
How can we put them in a good position to where?
That's exactly, Riggy, that's what we're trying to come up with, is that's why we got to,
You gotta get rid of 6 buses.
Yes. That's a lump.
do we have 6 old buses that are the dying dinosaurs that we're going to feel good about? Do we give them away or can we sell them?
You gotta,
They
Turn them in?
you
Put a
gotta
drill hole
put a
through
bullet
the.
in the engine. Wow.
Yes.
Dead.
Like cash for clunkers?
Okay.
can we
You-
scrap it?
I think we got enough of them to give away anyway, don't we?
We got 14 of them.
So
We could get rid of.
They gotta be running. They gotta have a green tag on them.
Oh,
nice caveat.
dang it.
They have to be active on our
That's the
41
active
side.
one. No. They gotta be- we do-
Obviously, you guys aren't done. You guys aren't done digging, right? Are
I'm
you?
gonna call into Midwest tomorrow, and the next call is to DT and see what kind of rebates we get.
So, Jody, this has been burning on me. I know we're doing an open discussion, and this is probably the best time to do it because we're all going to have a question 2 hours from now when we're not together, and it's going to be hard to ask you. All right, you literally have gotten 2 buses every single year since you've gotten here, right? We've taken 2 buses and we put them on the front of the line. We take our other 2 and we punt them out to the end. We push them to the back as a parts bus or sub bus. There you go. Let's call it that. Where's the bad? How is it bad if we were to stay on that plan and just go with our plan that we're doing? I mean, it's just throwing it out there.
I literally have one old bus left on my.
So in next year, let's say we did do the 2 buses, it would take that old one out and we would be back.
Buying one bus.
It-
Which is our 106.
Buying one bus a year, scrapping all those out, and possibly using that money to get another bus. I mean, if the bus is
It's an option, you're saying.
about $4
It's an option.
I mean, I thought that I thought that that's what we kind of talked about before is what a plan was. It was a plan, but then this fell in our lap.
But then this is,
Yeah.
because Amy had said that she talked to somebody at conferences and she wanted us to investigate.
Absolutely. If this is going to be the best for our school system, then this is what we need to do. But it's got to be the best thing because, as Iggy said, 8, 10, 12 years from now, we're either setting up the next board to fail or we're going to set our school up to fail.
So even if we do it, we still gotta, what are you gonna do at the end?
Right, that's
Still got
scary.
buses.
You still,
Yeah.
yeah.
You're 10
We're
to
never
12.
replenishing our stock. We're never replenishing our stock.
Because we're spending $100-something
Yeah.
thousand a year just to rent.
Yeah. For what we would be paying him, we could get a newer bus every year.
So
But I think the
let's talk to DTE.
point of that
How about
is
this
cost
too, though? On our
efficiency.
fleet that we have right now,
Save money
minus the
because
6
we're
buses, the fleet that we have right now,
because
are
we're
we
not paying for
capable of
diesel.
maintaining our bus
But-
routes for another 2-3 years?
It runs out in the
We
wall.
have one bus in our
Yeah.
regular routes is 2000.
And we're not replenishing our stock.
Right.
Is that the newest or oldest?
That's the oldest, 2001. We got two.
Just a few years old.
What's it?
Just a few years old.
2019 year before, we got what, 2023,
So you're saying we're sitting pretty?
2028.
If we get it,
I wouldn't say pretty.
if we get one more,
We're better than
get rid of
we
that
were
one, I
before.
think we'll be
Yes.
in greater shape.
Greater.
We'll be in the greaterest shape.
Look at the buses next year, and I can breathe.
You guys have to sit down and do your homework and be a better salesman to us.
Well, I'll be honest with you,
Yeah.
I like both of them right
Yeah,
now.
me too.
I'm 50-50 down the middle,
We
so
can
somebody
get
can give me
electric
something.
buses where it don't cost us anything but $260,000 on it.
Okay.
But I gotta get a whole DTE.
But we have to give them, I'm sorry, I didn't mean
Me
to
and the
interrupt.
guy from Midwest. are gonna
We got to
sit
give them
down,
6 buses. You're right.
All DTE, what's it gonna cost us to put that bus in over here for our charging stations? If it's minimal, if it's $170,000 like they say, I'd rather just do it.
Or what's the caveat because they're going to have a service they're going to be providing.
They're not gonna provide any service except for monitoring the electric.
No.
They're paying for it.
That's what I mean. DTE. I'm saying
Oh.
DT. If we get DTE to actually do the actual, the substation.
There's a group, that's all they do is electrification, like for schools,
Mhm.
for everything.
Oh.
There's all kinds of grants for it. This guy from Midwest, I'm talking to tomorrow, is gonna give me that name, and, we'll give a call, see what, is it worth it?
Okay. So we have a minute to let you do some homework before
I
anything.
mean, it's 2 years, but I wanna get it.
With
They
the,
need to
2
know
years
that-
from
they need to know as soon as
February.
possible. We need to know as soon as possible. Electric bus is probably gonna take 7-8 months to build.
what's the Jody Dunn of Dearborn say?
What's the Jody Dunn of Jackson say?
No.
What's the Jody Dunn of Howell
Redford
say?
Union.
Redford Union. Thank you.
They're,
Talked to Woodhaven, we talked to Jackson, we talked to Grass Lake, who all has electric buses, and
All been those?
one person, one of the directors, sounded like a salesman for electric buses.
did they,
Everybody else said no. We talked to bus drivers, said they're quiet,
We should listen.
extremely dangerous around kids.
We got to listen, you guys.
Absolutely.
They stop at stoplights and they don't go. and they have
experience is
problems.
knowledge.
Yeah.
Experience is knowledge.
Thank you.
Yeah, and that did, like I said, I tried to do as much research as I could. I had some stuff going up family, but it seemed like a lot of those people that were saying if you're going to try to do something out of the box, propane was more of a thing. But I know we're talking about electric. But that's what on the electric. If you read the comments and you have teachers chiming in and bus drivers, or I'm a bus driver for this school. We demoed. We wish we would have went with this or that. But I appreciate all the hard work you put into this.
Heck yeah.
I know we think
Absolutely.
we're taking it super serious. I've been trying to do my own homework on it to be informative or help out these conversations. And it sounds like you guys have been engrossed in this, so I can't thank you both enough and everyone else who's been involved.
There's a lot of money involved.
I want to do it. Like I said,
Yeah.
that's the only reason we're doing
It
it.
shows your care for the community. It really does. How much effort you guys are putting into this.
Yeah, very much.
We want to be sure it's right for the bus drivers too. I mean, we don't want to give them a product that.
It's going to fail with a bus full of children. That's how we have to look at this. How
I didn't even think
catastrophic
about that.
it could be with a bus full of children coming home from a route, and you have mama bears, and we all know you're mama bear, you're mama bear, mama bear. We don't want
Yeah.
mama bears, man.
Either way.
Yeah.
Yep. Other than that, it's just essentially it's a bus. It's a normal bus, brakes, tires.
Nick did bring up something. He says, what if the bus gets totaled? Screw the total. What if a car hits it and dents it in the back? Who does the repairs on that? On the electric bus. Let's just say,
Well, it's still just a bus, right?
Huh?
It's just a bus.
We still have insurance.
We still have
Sure.
insurance, like
Yeah, we-
everything.
It's just a bus, like the whole outside. It's just a bus. It's just that it's got electric motor and batteries. That's the only thing different.
Apparently,
you know.
keep them between the frame rails.
Buses are steel. I mean, they're.
From what I'm reading is they put those batteries between the frame rails to try to protect them. They're sitting literally mounted to the frame rails and stuff like that.
Yeah, dang sure better. Yeah.
Rails are like, they do concrete over the bridges over there. That's what that is. I mean, it's basically what it is.
Wow. Interesting.
So some questions.
Yeah, no, you guys, there's a little bit more to do, but man, even though looking into it even further, Jody, and when everybody's pointing the no at us, I'm telling you, that's
Due
Yep.
diligence.
Yep.
It's a lot of money.
Yeah, well, it's hard to say no to that because then you sound like a grubber, money grubbers. Yeah,
The
That was
period,
funny.
the pushes kind of went away from electric. That's
Sure,
where,
it is bad.
That is true too.
You're stuck.
The government's no longer pushing it.
Hey, once
where you at?
you pull the trigger, we're committed, man. You're
This
married
is
to it.
what I think it was the second grade teacher, one of my kids had said, we don't potty talk in school. They're not allowed to say words like that.
Turd?
Turd.
Common.
I know.
Shucks. All right. Well, let's. Everybody good with all that? Good with all that. Thanks, Jody.
Thank you, Joe.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Okay, now we're gonna move on to new business. All right. Subject A, approval of the high school cafeteria and senior hallway furniture purchase. I need a motion to approve the purchase of the furniture through the competitively procured purchasing program for the high school cafe and the senior hallway, and to accept a bid from Do EI Corporation from Holland, Michigan, in the amount of $135,184.25.
Motions.
Iggy
Support.
and Jackie.
Delay.
Any discussion, questions?
This is through the grant, right?
Yep, this is our food spend down.
Just so
Correct,
people listening at home, so they understand.
Yep, this is our
They're
food.
gonna hear about
Thank
more
you.
repairs.
Yes,
and
yes,
they're gonna
yes,
be like, "What are you buying furniture for?"
Yep.
So
This-
it's through a grant.
We have to spend the money or we lose it.
Thank you. I'm just telling people at home.
It's not a grant.
It's not a grant. It's our
Through-
food service. spend
Food,
down.
it's directed towards just food service areas,
Mhm.
stuff like that.
Yes.
Correct.
Just for the people at home.
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah.
So they hear about catastrophic repairs to roof and understand why the money goes there.
Right. Yes. If we do not use this money, we lose it. This is our use money or lose money. Period. Yep.
Thank you, Shane.
Yep. Okay. Any other questions and discussion? Hearing none. All in favor? Yes.
Yes.
Opposed? Motion passes 4-0. So that was Iggy, Jackie, Nick. Okay. Subject B, approval of food service serving counter project. Oops, wrong page.
Same bank of money.
Same bank. I need a motion to approve the purchase of the cold food service counter unit project for the high school cafeteria and to accept a bid from Stafford Smith in the amount of $332,732.
Motion.
Nick
Support.
and Jackie. Okay, any discussion?
Just clarifying.
Clarifying, same thing. Same bank of money. If we do not use that money, we do lose that money. We do lose that money. And the reason why we're high speeding this instead of waiting till next week is because if we don't get this, Deb, please, I'm not going to steal it. Would you please explain why?
That's okay. There are other schools that are going through this exact same process right now and getting their board approval. And so if we can beat the other schools in line, we have a better chance of getting this and installed prior to school starting.
Nice. Just for the people at home.
Yep, no, absolutely. I love that. Thank you for being conscious of that, Nick. Thank you. Okay, any other questions for Deb on that? Hearing none, all in favor? Yes. Opposed? Motion passes 4-0. All right, oral communications.
No, thank you.
Any written communication? All right,
No, I don't have anything to say. If anybody else has something to say.
board and administrators. Deb, do you have any closing comments?
I just really want to thank everybody for the food service this week, the distribution.
Yeah.
And then we are running it every week throughout summer. And those families that are in need or anybody who wants to come, please come and pick up food. On Wednesdays and Thursdays, Wednesdays at the Recreation Center
There you
at 1 to 2. On Thursdays, we are at Soaked Elementary from 1 until 2. I know the line gets long. We try to move it through as fast as we absolutely possibly can. Please be patient with us, but it is good food.
And everyone's heart's in the right spot.
And
So
everybody's
patience
heart's
is needed. Jody, do you have anything? Any closing comments? Okay. Mr. Pajaro.
Yes, Jody, thank you. Deb, thank you. Man, I'm a little reserved on the electric buses. I thought for sure I was a goer,
Me too.
but today I think we need to do some more homework. But I'm looking forward to getting some answers. Jody, you got a lot of pull on this, so if you tell us, hey, let's do it, we're gonna do it. But if not, I'm sure you're gonna give us good reasons why. So, one last thing, I drive around the schools because of my grandkids all over the place, and I see all the schools. And I want to say a big, huge thank you to the grass cutting company that we hired. They have got our schools looking good. Thank you.
Yeah, I was gonna ask.
Thank
I was
you.
gonna ask
It looks
when you were doing the presentation, how has it been going and stuff. I mean, it looks good, but
it
how's
looks good. Are we doing good?
Yes, no problem, sure, they took care of it immediately.
I mean, just driving by.
That's
the
what should
school, it was
happen.
Yesterday, I drove by.
That's
the
what should
school,
happen.
I saw the line cut. I'm like, that's beautiful. That's gorgeous. Thank you.
That's good.
Thank you.
It's great feedback.
I'm good. Thank you.
Scott Harrison, thank him for coming out and giving his
Yes.
presentation.
Yeah,
for the
that's-
company.
Thank you.
Appreciate taking time out of his day. And just feedback off of Deb. What an awesome community.
Yes.
Can't say anymore.
It's tough. It is. It's awesome to watch. You guys care so much. I love it. Everybody working hard. Same thing. Our central office. They gave me a hand today, getting some stuff set up last couple of days. Appreciate them. Appreciate everybody here. You guys are working your tails off. Appreciate you guys. Thank you everyone so much. And community support for helping out with these things. I saw some of the younger kids. A lot of
Yeah.
little plug to the Junior Bears. Saw some of them guys are getting ready for their middle school football season. Saw some of those kids in the pictures out there helping out. Love seeing all the community people. Thank you, everybody. And if you want to know what's going on, come to board meeting. The seats, there's plenty of seats for people to be here.
Thank you, Susan.
Yes.
It is always
Thank you,
lovely to
Susan.
have
Thank
you in our
She's always
audience.
here. Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you, Susan.
Okay.
Said no, thank
You
you.
thank Susan.
Thank you, Mrs. LeBeau, for letting me bend your ear earlier. I do appreciate your time. Very, very valued. I'll have you know that. I value your time. Thank you, as always. No, Jody and Deb, you guys listen, as I all said, I know you guys were here late yesterday. I know that. That was a long day for everybody. Jody, you gave up one of the things that one of your fun times to stay and keep working until 10 o'clock at night. When you get here at 4:35 in the morning, no, it's not unseen. I promise that. You guys are doing amazing. Amazing. Appreciate everything. That's it. All right. So I need a motion to move that the cow meeting be adjourned at 7:33.
Motion.
Okay, Nick. Mr. Pajaro. Any discussion on that? Hearing none, all in favor? Yes. Opposed? Motion passes 4-0.
Good job, gang.
Close at 7:33. I'm driving.